Happy Wednesday, everyone. I hope everyone is doing amazing. So, first of all, I want to thank you all for your support and your kind words. It always means the world to me. And don't worry, I know, guys, that you love me and I am doing well. Secondly, a few of you have started the workshop lately, and I have been getting some comments just about my youthfulness. And I want to thank you all for that as well. That is always nice to hear. It simply is. And glamour magic. So thank you for all of your kind compliments and kind words. I'm really grateful. And yeah, thank you so much. It was really nice to hear all that. Now, let's go into today's topic. So, today's topic is, as usual, inspired by one of the questions that I have gotten. And that was the question from a new client that asked me what they can do during the day when they are getting thoughts about their person, like memories or just little songs reminding them of the ex. It doesn't have to be an ex, by the way. Your person can be your crush, your friend, whatever, right? So, what they can do. Because even though it's not bad, they would like to get less of it and they would like to kind of shift their focus to something else. So that was basically the question. So first of all, I want to start by clarifying that daydreaming or having thoughts about your person is not necessarily a bad thing. Obviously, you can't fully control this. Obviously, you will think about them, and this cannot be prevented. We can do some things to help, depending on what kind of thoughts you have. That's very important, and we're going to get into that. But first of all, in general, if somebody is afraid to daydream, if it's not excessive, if it's not needy, then it's totally fine. Because if you think about it, we daydream all the time, especially when we first meet somebody, sorry, and we start like texting or dating, we will daydream about this person all the time. And guys, this is why the love spells can actually work on, creating those initial little pushes so somebody will actually fall in love with you, even if they're not. So if you think about the process of falling in love, right? When you are in that initial stages of like texting or dating or both, right? What is happening is that the majority of your falling in love is based on daydreaming about this person and kind of like making your assumptions about them and imagining scenes with them. And that would be like the big percentage, sorry, of falling in love process. And less of it will be based on actually their actions and the things that we would like logically kind of fall in love with. And that's fallen in love with. And this is because love is not logical. Very important to understand, love is absolutely not logical, and it happens on a subconscious level. So this is why love spells are a thing, and this is why love spells work, basically one of the reasons why. So it's absolutely not a logical process. And sometimes you just wish you would fall in love with somebody, right? Because this person is so great, they would be so good for you, they're rich, I don't know, they're handsome, but you just can't, right? Because it's not a choice. Falling in love is not really a choice. It's not a decision. You don't just decide, okay, I'm going to fall in love with this person. It happens subconsciously, and definitely daydreaming about a person is a big part of it. But obviously, daydreaming is something that happens when there is some kind of connection, when there is chemistry and things like that. So, if you're having nice thoughts, I'm sorry, I can't speak today. If you're having nice thoughts about your person and you daydream sometimes, I don't think you need to do something necessarily to get rid of those thoughts. As long as they're not excessive and are not making you obsessed or like needy, it's fine. You don't need to stop thinking about your person, guys, and you can't. So do not try to force that. Another thing is okay, if you want to, if you think it's too much, okay. Another thing is that force will not work. Force never works. We have talked about this so many times. Force simply doesn't work. And if you're trying to force yourself not to think about them, that will be very counterproductive. Now, when is it bad, let's say bad, to think about your person? When you're having thoughts that are very negative, basically, like who are they with now? You know, those anxious thoughts that create anxiety inside of you and fear. That is not good. So, what if there is somebody else? What if they're never come? What if they will never come back? What if they choose somebody else? You know, if this is not an ex, or if it is an ex, what if if they choose now somebody else? What if they don't love me? What if they hate me? What if they're mad at me? What if they never unblock me? What if they never text me? Those type of thoughts are bad, you know, not because they will influence this person to actually do those things. Nope, nothing like that, but they are low vibrational thoughts and they're keeping you in low vibration, plus they are creating a lot of worry and anxiety, which is again something that is low vibrational, but also something that, you know, just affects your mood, affects your daily performance, is just not good for you, right? You want to feel good, you want to feel great, you want to be productive, you want to be the best version of yourself. And thoughts like this will bring you into, you know, a victim mentality, which is something we want to avoid. So those type of thoughts we want to avoid. How do we avoid these type of thoughts? Obviously, they will happen sometimes. That is perfectly normal again. That is just how the mind works. So everybody has negative thoughts throughout the day. That is normal. So again, don't be forceful with these thoughts because they will happen anyways. You know, even if you are doing okay, you will sometimes have a thought, what if they this, what if they that? Remember my story about the guy that blocked me? My first thoughts, initial thoughts were, oh no, now I'm going to be blocked for months again. So yeah, your brain goes to the worst case scenario. It's normal, but it's important how you will react when that happens. Okay, so I'm going to explain what you can do. First of all, do not try to ignore that thought or try to pretend it didn't happen. You know, like that's kind of like forcing, okay, I'm not having this thought, I'm going to ignore it. Nope. Allow it to come. You know, it's here for a reason. These are your fears speaking to you. This is your mindset telling you, okay, this is what's wrong, this is what you need to fix. So allow the thought to come and then do not overthink it in terms what if they never come back, and then you start thinking they did not come back the last time for this and this long, they never reach out first, whatever. You start to and you try to overanalyze the thought, and then you get into this loop of negative thinking. You want to avoid that. So what you're going to do is you're going to turn on your logical thinking, and you're going to be like, so what if they never come back? You know, seriously, think of the worst case scenario. So what if that happens? What's going to happen? Think about it. Are you going to die from that? No. No, you're not. What's going to happen is, okay, I'm going to be disappointed, but I will go on with my life. And yes, I will probably be not doing so great for a bit, and then, you know, I will go on with my life. I will meet somebody even better, and I'll be fine. That is the realistic scenario, guys. Dying over, you know, your ex not coming back is not realistic. So that is important. Explain to yourself, what if it happens? You know, what if they never unblock me? Well, nothing. I'm gonna stay blocked, right? But most likely they will unblock me. But I'm not gonna like think about if they will or they will not, because I have nothing from overthinking what's gonna happen in the future, because the future hasn't happened yet. And me worrying about it and being anxious about it is not helping me at all. It's actually keeping me low vibrational. So that is what you do. Then, after you have done that, you switch focus. You switch focus. And don't tell me, Svetlana, I can't. Yes, you can. You are in control of your mind. You're just not trying to be in control because you're allowing your mind to go autopilot because you're just not feeling well and you kind of like, okay, let's just, yeah. No, you take control. This is your mind, your brain, your thoughts, right? So switch focus. To switch focus effortlessly and efficiently, what I recommend is doing some kind of a chore that requires you to really concentrate. So this will be different for everyone, guys. There is an example on the channel with a little exercise that I personally love, and that is to go through alphabet, and each letter you will say all the countries that you can think of. So A, Albania, Argentina, and so on. Then B, Belgium, and so on. C, Cyprus, and so on. So basically, this requires you to think about the letter, the countries, and concentrate. And therefore, your brain cannot be focusing on other things. Because if you're going to pick something where, there's a lot of things that you can do where you do not need to directly, fully focus on that thing. And then in the background, you're going to have that story about your ex all the time, right? But you need something where you need 100% focus. So some kind of exercise for the brain. That is when your brain needs to 100% focus on the exercise. So this one is the one that I personally love and recommend. And I actually thought of it. And you also can pick some other type of exercise. What doesn't work is breathing exercises. I personally haven't had any success with those, and also clients have told me the same. So although they can be good for other things, with a specific thing, when you need to switch focus from your ex, they will not do the trick. So you need something where your brain is fully focused on an exercise. Now, exercising in the gym will not be the thing, because if you work out, your brain can think about million things. So you can cross that one. Cooking will not do. What you truly need is a brain exercise like this one, and there are other ones as well. So if you don't like this one, you can probably think of something else or find something else online, but this is just my favorite. It works for me every time. It's also great for just calming anxiety in general. If it's about something else, it doesn't have to be an ex, but whatever it is. So this is your method. Okay, first of all, allow the thought to come. Do not try to escape from it, run from it, allow it to come. And then logically analyze it. Do not overthink it, but logically analyze what would happen if this horrible thing happens. And also analyze, what do you have from overthinking this, from being afraid of this, from living in fear? What do you gain from that? And what do you lose? And after you do that, then you switch focus. So that is the best scenario for these type of things. Okay, guys. Well, the most important thing again is to actually do it. That is the most important thing. To not just listen to these audios and be like, oh, that's a good idea. And then when it actually happens, you do not do it. And you just go autopilot. So the most important thing is to actually put in the effort and do it, because nobody can do it for you. Only you can do it. It's your brain, it's your mind, and you are in control. You don't have to have it on autopilot. You can take over. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you're having a nice week. And I did have a really nice day yesterday, even though there was that incident. But my one of my best friends gave birth to a baby girl, and it was so sweet because she asked me like a few weeks before that to do a tarot reading about her childbirth because she was very worried, I mean, it's scary, right? And when she gave birth, she actually texted me and, sent the baby photo. But the first thing she said was, the cards were right. It was sudden. There was a decision that needed to be made. And there was something else, but I forgot. Sudden decision that needed to be made and quick. Yeah, fast. So that was really sweet. Because, if I give birth, I don't think my first thought would be, oh, the cards were right. So I thought that was really funny. But yeah, everything went well, just like the card said. And I just love babies. So I'm always happy when there's a new baby in the world. And some of you guys also had babies since I knew you. And some of you are about to have babies. So I'm looking forward to that. I seriously am. Anyways, yeah, that was a beautiful start of yesterday's day. And yeah, anyways, oversharing, right? Bye.